The media is gunning for Elon Musk. No surprise, they are angry that he dared suggest there should be some kind of public accountability for those who work in media and their organizations. He's been associated with the alt-right, with Gamergate. They act like he's some kind of Trump figure. He's been called the Donald of Silicon Valley. And the articles that are coming out talking about his ideas have adjectives meant to insult his ideas. But what are his ideas, and do they actually make sense? Yes, there needs to be accountability in media, and I'm going to show you several examples of how the media is full of it. But before we get started, you need to go and subscribe to my backup channel, youtube.com/timcastnews. Click the subscribe button. I'm gonna put a little card up here that will give you a link straight to the second channel. I've already gotten a guideline strike. I don't know exactly what for, and I am concerned they might disable my channel. Also, I can't live stream on my main channel anymore, but I can do it here, so this is where I will be for breaking news. So let's do a quick recap. Elon Musk said he was going to create a site where the public can rate the core truth of any article, track the credibility score over time of each journalist, editor, and publication, thinking of calling it Pravda. Before I go any further, I just want to point out that Elon Musk was kind of trolling. He's calling it Pravda as a joke because it's a word in Russian that is akin to truth, and it is the name of a Soviet-era newspaper, Pravda, and so Elon Musk is clearly making a joke here, though he actually was trying to launch a site called Pravda. I think he's kind of being funny. He launched a poll, create a media credibility rating site that also flags propaganda botnets. 88% said yes, this would be good. 12% no, the media are awesome, with 681,000 votes. In fact, Stan Lee tweeted in support saying, "I agree with Elon Musk that the media should be held accountable to tell the truth. Many reporters are honest, but fake news outlets like Hollywood Reporter should not be spreading lies. Go Elon." And although he wasn't able to get Pravda, he got Pravda.com. Game on, he said. Now, before I get into the insane reaction to Elon Musk's tweets, I want to talk about the general concept. Listen, we rate everything in society. We rate food, movies, cars, everything, even services. And so one argument is that you can't do it for journalists because people will rate things based on tribal reasons and not actual credibility. And no, yes, we recognize that. What people find to be true really is based on their tribe. And it's unfortunate because sometimes things are true. But as I stated in my other video, you don't need to be a plumber to know that your toilet is broken. So let's consider this argument. If all that happens is tribes attack a journalist for being partisan, then we have two tribes attacking all journalists. What do you think is going to happen? If both factions are attacking everyone, then the curve for what is considered good journalism will be even. If the left tribe attacks right-wing journalists, and the right tribe attacks left-wing journalists, and the left supports the left and the right supports the right, it balances out, and ultimately most people are going to have a middle-of-the-road score, as they should. And then even if the average rating out of 10 is like 1 star, you might find someone who's got 1.1 star, and that's the point of a rating system. Elon Musk talked about an idea. He didn't even explain how it was going to work, and he also mentioned it would flag propaganda botnets. So they are actually thinking ahead, and I think, yes, we should have some kind of public accountability for those in media. Why? People in media are influential, and they can direct the conversation, in which case the people need to be able to rate them and respond to those actions. Journalists should not be unaccountable. Right now, no one holds journalists accountable because they're all friends with each other. Very rarely do you see journalists not supporting each other. And this is one of the big problems I talked about in my previous video, which go check it out if you didn't see it. When one journalist tweeted that Elon Musk was acting like Trump, Brian Stelter of CNN put that in his newsletter and then agreed that Elon was sounding like Trump. Journalists support each other. So who is watching the Watchmen? Perhaps a public rating system like we have for literally everything else makes a whole lot of sense. But what do you think the media did when Elon Musk started tweeting? Well, they found any way to discredit him, and man, is it bad. Joshua Topolsky said, "You're very smart, so I want you to think about this for a second. Do you think it's in the interest of powerful people to A, support a free press that exposes their lies, or B, tear it down so their lies are easier to tell? Now ask yourself why the polls would look bad." And Elon Musk said, "Who do you think owns the press? Hello?" Clearly, in the context of this conversation, Elon Musk is talking about powerful people. This person is asking, do you think powerful people want the press or don't? And Elon Musk said, they own the press. Of course they want it. But you know where the press went with this? Yeah. The first response from Ben Collins is, Elon, where are you going with this? Ben tweeted again, Elon Musk was going to tell us who, quote, owns the media, end quote, but has instead decided to log off for the night. Unfortunate. To which the editor-in-chief of Daily Beast said, you gotta be kidding me. It's very strange. That's where the journalists' minds go when you're having a discussion about powerful people in media, and Elon Musk makes a point that it's powerful people who own the media. Why is it that many people on the left and in media are quick to criticize the billionaires who have influence over media, but as soon as Elon Musk points it out, they try to insinuate he's somehow talking about Jewish people? And Elon did clarify, pointing out to aspiring journo and rodent spokesmodel Josh Topp, who thinks public polls are controlled by, quote, powerful people, that the media is owned by same. Anyone who thought this was anti-Semitic is just revealing their inner bigot. The context is very clear. Anyone who saw what Elon Musk tweeted and then brought it to a Jewish angle clearly has something on their mind about Jewish people, and it's really strange. Or they're just trying to smear Elon and align him with white nationalism or neo-Nazis. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is the problem with the media. When Elon Musk comes out and says, hey guys, we really need to have a public critique system or rating system, they try to malign him. They write ridiculous articles about him, and then they try to play it like what he's saying is somehow racist or bigoted, or he's somehow asking about Jewish people owning media. It's getting so bad to where we actually saw this journalist say, female journalists, have you been harassed by Elon Musk fans? Please DM me your most horrific tweets and messages, and please share this. Now, apparently, I'm told she deleted this tweet and she locked her account because she probably got a wave of criticism for posting a tweet like this. When we saw this tweet, now looking for claims of harassment from Musk's fans, we know where this is going. They've already tried to imply that he's somehow talking about Jewish people. We've seen him insult him. We've seen them associate him with the alt-right, with Gamergate, with Donald Trump, and now we're seeing more. Journalists trying to find evidence of Elon Musk's fans harassing people. This is the internet. There are hundreds of millions of people on Twitter. Of course you'll find someone harassing someone, and they'll probably just take random accounts who are defending Elon Musk and claim they're fans. Well, guess what? A lot of people don't like Elon Musk. He's a snooty billionaire. A lot of people who even agree with him on the point of media don't like his business practices. The media doesn't seem to get it because they all hang out with each other. They're all friends with each other. They're in a bubble they cannot see out of. So let's see how the media responded. First, from The Atlantic, they said Elon Musk's silly war with the media. They called it silly right away. Why? Well, The Atlantic is the media. So Elon Musk must be silly. They're at war with him. The Washington Post called it dopey. Right, that's a great way to report on what Elon Musk is doing. Admittedly, this is style and perspective. I don't know what that means, but these articles coming out from these major publications, whether they're meant to be fact-based news or not, are the ones that get shared, are the ones that get viewed. RT ran the story this morning. Who do you think owns the press? Elon Musk tweet attracts barrage of anti-Semitic comments. And that's not so bad. That probably really did happen. But it's interesting how this is the association made by the press. And then we have the escalation. Elon Musk criticizes media by tweeting link to article with ties to sex cult. From Gizmodo, Elon Musk's idea of excellent journalism comes from an alleged sex cult. Gizmodo says, Elon Musk, in the midst of a crusade against traditional media, offered up an example of an excellent analysis that could serve as an example of what good journalism should look like. Just one problem. As Slate pointed out, the publication seems to have ties to a cult. In a since-deleted tweet, Musk linked to a piece by Knife Media and commended it for using the principles of critical thinking, complete with a link to the Wikipedia entry for the term. Knife Media is a rebranded version of the Knife of Aristotle, and according to an in-depth piece from Paste Magazine published last year, the Knife of Aristotle is a cult. Now, when you get into the talk about the sex cult, there's currently Kenneth Rainier and Allison Mack, who have been arrested and are pending trial, so it's all allegations right now. But simply because Elon Musk retweeted someone saying, yes, critical thinking is important, does not mean he's saying his idea of good journalism comes from a sex cult. This is just another way that the media is trying to discredit what he is saying, because it seems like the media is trying as hard as it can to avoid external accountability. Who holds the media accountable? Who reports on the media? Is it Brian Stelter at CNN? Because he seems to agree with many people in the media and doesn't hold those people accountable. But you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to give you just a couple examples of when traditional media and alternative media have done a bad job. This is a website I love using called NewsDiffs. And this story I love talking about. It's called The Life and Death of the Seth Rich Conspiracy Theory, Washington Post changelog. And we can see that the post was originally made May 24th, 2017, and it was updated on November 18th, 2017, several months later. That's very strange. You can see how the Washington Post changed the story. These sections that have the lines through them were removed and replaced with green. But the Washington Post never told anyone they changed the story. And they've removed principal facts and changed a significant portion of the story, again, without notifying readers. And this is common practice in the media, to put out a story that is factually incorrect and in many ways entirely made up, and then 6 months later, change it so it looks fine. Get rid of the lies, get rid of the things that were made up and the things that don't make sense, and now the story's okay. But everyone already read it, everyone already shared it, and the ideas they passed along in that article will persist forever, because the lie travels halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to strap on its boots. And here we can see how they cover it up. Has the Washington Post ever responded? No, but I certainly did respond to the Washington Post, asking them to fix it. They didn't. However, many journalists who had accidentally tweeted out the fake news did apologize for it a few months ago. But you know what? When there is an upstart in the media, the Washington Post would absolutely love to call them out. This story, archived from the Washington Post, says, Vice Media goes gonzo on the news. Advertisers may be a different story. The article says, at times, the company has blurred the lines between reporting and advertising. It has removed or altered some of its work after advertisers complained that the material put them in an unflattering light. On at least 2 occasions, it wove documentary footage into promotions for advertisers. In another instance, a months-long investigative project was killed, apparently out of concern about its effect on a major sponsor. Now, I don't trust the Washington Post. I actually trust Vice significantly more than I trust the Washington Post. But let's just take into consideration the 2 possibilities here. Either Vice is doing things that are unethical, supporting advertisers over journalistic ethics, or we have an instance of the Washington Post trying to smear a rival company. Whichever one you pick, it doesn't look good. And as much as I do love alternative media, I've got to single out Unicorn Riot. And full disclosure, I have a friend who is actually one of the key people who works for or with, however you describe it, it's a nonprofit organization, but they refer to One American News Network as alt-right media. And I do feel it's a little unfair to try and single out them, but I think this is another good example of how even if you're a small nonprofit or activist news organization, there's going to be partisan reporting, there's going to be heavy bias in what you say. One American News is just a conservative news channel. It doesn't get a big viewership or anything like that. It is certainly not alt-right, as alt-right refers specifically to ideologies around white nationalism and more extreme groups. And let's not forget the lovely Who is Jordan Peterson? Favorite figure of the alt-right, which came out just about 1 month ago. When you have large mainstream organizations putting out fake stories and then changing them months later, when you have NBC News putting out stories that are factually incorrect and trying to malign Jordan Peterson as a white nationalist, even though the alt-right doesn't like Jordan Peterson, and you even have independent activist organizations also maligning groups as alt-right, it's safe to say that we need some kind of accountability in media. There are media critics, they exist, but are they loud enough? I have gone on a tirade against the media for the past year now, ever since I've left these companies, because I've worked in these offices, I've worked with these people. I do not trust them. I made a video talking about how the newsrooms are degrading to a workplace full of mentally distressed activists. So perhaps we do need some kind of rating system. Does this mean Elon Musk's proposed solution, Pravda.com, will solve any problems? Of course not. Does it mean that it's going to create problems for the media? It might, but that's not really what it implies. It's just going to be another watchdog organization. The media said that they're coming after Elon Musk because he's trying to silence his critics. Well, what do you think you're doing right now by putting out story after story insulting him, calling him silly, dopey, saying he's anti-Semitic, saying he's alt-right or associated with Gamergate and Donald Trump? It's the exact same thing. So you know what? I welcome any and all criticism. Don't get me wrong. I think the media does a decent job on a lot of stories. oftentimes we don't talk about the really good reporting that comes out from news organizations because it's just expected. When NBC News puts out a good story, we read it, we watch it, and we say, that was pretty good reporting, I understand that. But when they do really bad, we call it out. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will carry on as always and keep the conversation going. You can follow me on Twitter at TimCast. I'll probably be tweeting about this for some time. Let me know what you think, and make sure to come back every day at 4 p.m. to get new videos, and also make sure you subscribe to my second channel, youtube.com/TimCastNews, because I never know if YouTube's going to ban me. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.